Welcome to the deep dive. Let's get straight to it. We're talking about that feeling, that knot in your stomach when you need to speak English. That moment where maybe someone asks you a question, could be anything simple, and boom, your mind just goes blank.
Yeah, or your palms get sweaty, heart races.
Exactly. Mouth goes dry. All of that.
It's a classic anxiety response, really. And it feels super real, super powerful, even if, intellectually you know the English.
Right. But here's the thing we found digging into this, that fear, it's completely normal. Doesn't mean you're bad at English or anything like that.
Absolutely. It's more like a stage, a very, very common stage lots of people go through when learning a language.
Yeah.
And you can definitely get past it.
Okay, so for this deep dive, we listened to this really great podcast episode. It's called Speak Anyway, Overcoming the Fear of Speaking English.
Right, with Kei and Leo.
Yeah, Kei and Leo. And it's like 15 minutes, but it's really warm, very honest, real talk.
Yeah, they make it feel very relatable. Their honesty about, the struggle and how they move forward is, I think, super helpful for anyone who's feeling that fear.
So our mission here is basically to pull out the best bits, the key insights, the practical advice from what Kei and Leo talked about to help you, listening right now, figure out maybe why you feel this fear and, crucially, what you can actually do about it. Some real steps.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so Leo in the podcast, where did this whole fear thing start for him?
Well, he traces it back to school, which is interesting, right? Because he actually said he was pretty good at reading English and writing, too.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like an overall lack of skill.
No, not really.
Yeah.
It highlights that difference between, understanding English reading, listening, and actually producing it, speaking it out loud.
Yeah.
Speaking just triggers different anxieties.
Yeah, there's a vulnerability there, isn't there? Putting your own spoken words out for judgment.
Definitely. And for Leo, the specific fears were, well, saying something wrong, making mistakes, and also people maybe laughing at his accent. Those are really common social fears tied to wanting to fit in, wanting to be accepted.
And it sounds like it wasn't just like mild butterflies. It actually stopped him from talking.
Oh, yeah, big time. He said it would literally stop him speaking up. Even if he knew the answer in class or had something important to say, he used this great analogy, a wall.
A wall. Okay, tell me about the wall.
So he described it as this, invisible barrier. It's between his brain, where all the English knowledge is stored, and his mouth, which needs to actually say the words. And the fear is the wall. It just blocks that connection.
Wow. Not physical, but feels just as real.
Exactly. It's a mental block, an emotional one.
So what was underneath that? What were the core fears building that wall?
It really boiled down to a fear of being judged negatively, worries about people not understanding him or thinking he sounded, well, he used the word dumb, or just generally not being good enough compared to how he thought others expected him to speak. It's that exposure, that vulnerability.
Okay, so this fear was clearly a big deal for him. How did it actually play out? What did he do or maybe not do because what did he avoid?
Well, he gave some really clear examples. In school, anything involving speaking in class, he'd avoid it.
Okay.
Later on, job interviews that needed English, he'd just skip applying.
Wow, really limiting.
Yeah, and even just daily stuff, like needing help or wanting to ask a question somewhere, he'd often just stay quiet instead of trying in English.
That's more than just being shy then. It's actively shaping his choices.
Totally. He even mentioned traveling and resorting to just pointing at things instead of trying to speak.
Right.
And the consequence, as he pointed out, was that his world just started to feel smaller. Fewer experiences, fewer opportunities, fewer connections, because the less you speak,
the fewer chances you get.
Yeah.
It feeds itself, doesn't it? Avoidance leads to less practice, which makes the fear bigger.
Exactly. That cycle. And he also brought up something super relevant today, social media comparison.
Oh, yeah. The pressure there is huge.
He talked about feeling really inadequate, looking at other people online who seem so fluent, so effortless in their English. It's easy to fall into that trap.
Seeing everyone's highlight reel, but none of the behind-the-scenes struggle.
Precisely. Because what you don't see on social media is usually the messy beginning, the mistakes, the stumbles that literally everyone goes through learning a language.
Yeah.
And Leo's big point here, which is so important, is that everyone starts somewhere. Nobody just wakes up fluent in a second language.
Such a good reminder.
Yeah.
Be kind to yourself. Okay, so he's feeling this fear. He's avoiding things.
Yeah.
What changed? What was the turning point for him?
It seems like it was just getting fed up. He got tired of feeling limited by the fear. He really wanted to connect with people, to express himself properly in English, and eventually that desire just became stronger than the fear of messing up.
Okay, so the motivation shifted. What was the first actual step he took then?
It was quite clever, actually. He joined a small online language group. Very small, just 5 people.
Keeping it low pressure. Smart.
Yeah, exactly. Less intimidating than a big class or something. But the really crucial thing he did was be upfront about his fear.
He told them.
Yep. Right at the start, he basically said, look, I'm scared to speak, but I'm here to try and get better.
Wow, that takes guts. How did they react? That must have been key.
It was. They were apparently really positive, really supportive, no judgment, and that created this safe space for him,
Okay.
which led to this concept that Kei and Leo